Florida flounders. Politicians bicker. After deadly Hurricane Helene, potentially catastrophic Milton looms. U.S. braces for Category 5 storm. With just weeks left for U.S. presidential elections, Trump versus Kamala Harris on Hurricane Helene relief? Disaster used for political brownie points? Will hurricanes in North Carolina, Georgia impact polls? As devastated Florida struggles, race to White House gets uglier. Trump and Harris look to trip the other? U.S. VP lashes out at ex-POTUS. Amid politics, civilians suffer as usual? The widespread devastation caused by Hurricane Helene in the southeastern United States has underscored the critical importance of the federal government's emergency response efforts, particularly with the upcoming November election, as communities in North Carolina, Georgia, and beyond face the task of long-term rebuilding. The responsibility for spearheading this effort will ultimately fall on either Vice President Harris or former President Trump, one of whom will replace President Joe Biden in January. Still reeling from Helene, the United States is now bracing for Hurricane Milton. Millions of Floridians are racing to evacuate as Milton, currently a massive Category 5 storm, approaches landfall on the state's western coast. As these extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, under President Biden, has reportedly taken significant steps to promote resilience ahead of disasters and streamline the federal disaster aid process. These policies are likely to continue if Harris wins the upcoming presidential elections. Meanwhile, Trump's approach to disaster relief during his first term sparked widespread controversies. He reportedly directed federal disaster funds away from their intended purpose, such as redirecting them towards border security. Under the current Democratic government, FEMA has reportedly made significant efforts to ensure that disaster relief is more equitable. This includes providing rapid cash awards directly to people affected by disasters. Addressing concerns that the National Flood Insurance Program disproportionately favored wealthier coastal homeowners, FEMA under President Biden's administration has overhauled its approach to calculating insurance premiums. The objective is to align flood insurance rates more closely with the actual risk involved. When Trump was president, FEMA and disaster relief were in the spotlight a number of times. An Inspector General's report concluded in 2021 that the Trump administration reportedly blocked an investigation into a delayed $20 billion aid payment for Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria in 2017. Remember, conservatives have reportedly long argued that FEMA, which sits in the Department of Homeland Security, has become too large to effectively carry out its mission, and it would be better to empower state and local first responders to help pick up after disasters like Helene.